Okay, hey guys, so this is a how-to video about how to write an argumentative paper. So our topic for this is going to be our reality TV that we've been working on. So we're going to write a paper about arguing, is reality TV a good thing or is it a bad thing? So what you're going to do is um, you're going to need the argumentative paper graphic organizer, a pencil, and then your blue reality TV packet. In this video, you're going to practice writing an argumentative paper. I'm going to show you how to write an introduction paragraph, how to write reason number 1 explanation paragraph, and then how to write a conclusion paragraph. And then on your own, you're going to write the second reason explanation paragraph, which is going to be the same or similar to reason number 1, but it's going to be obviously a different reason. Okay, so here we go. So for the introduction paragraph, you have 4 essential things that you need for the introduction to be a solid introduction. So you need an attention getter or a hook to get your reader's attention. You need to explain the problem. You need to make your claim. And then you need to preview or list out your 2 reasons for why your claim is valid. Okay, for your attention getter, what is it? This is, again, something to get your reader's attention. So you have a couple of options for how you do that. So one thing you can do is you could use something shocking, like a statistic or a fact that is surprising in some way. You can also use a statement to introduce the problem, to kind of, just introduce it to your reader. You could use vivid imagery or description to describe something about the problem. You could give some interesting background info about your problem or your topic. Okay, so this example, this is what you're going to write in your graphic organizer in the very first box under paragraph 1. So here's my attention getter. Encouraging others to pursue their dreams, using one's unique talents to create something beautiful, and employing teamwork to achieve a goal. All of these can be learned from reality television. Okay, so right now I want you to pause the video. I want you to write this example in your graphic organizer and then press play when you're ready to move on to the next section. Okay, the next thing you need in your intro paragraph is you need to further explain the problem to give your reader a little bit more detail. So one thing you can do for this, you have 2 options. The first thing you can do is explain more details about the subject you're talking about. So just explaining it more. The second thing you can do to give more explanation is you can explain the counter argument, which is the opposite of what your claim is. Okay, so the benefit of doing this is it shows that you're credible because you're acknowledging the other side of the argument. You're saying, hey, some people believe this, but this is what I believe. Okay, so it makes you sound like you are having a well-rounded argument by saying the opposite thing and acknowledging it. So here's my example. Many people believe that reality TV has a negative impact on society because of the terrible behaviors that it models. Okay, so what I want you to do is pause the video, write this example in your graphic organizer, and then play when you're ready to go on to the next section. Oh, and this is where I explained the counter argument of reality TV. All right, so for the introduction paragraph, the last chunk is 2 sections, the claim and then preview of your 2 reasons. These can be separated out into 2 sentences or they can be combined into 1 sentence depending on how you do it. Either way works fine as long as you don't have a big run-on sentence. So I combine it, or I have it separated out into 2. So here we go. Make your claim. This is where you tell your stance on the topic. So my stance on this topic is, however, not all reality TV is negative. So pause the video, write this in your graphic organizer, and press play when you're ready for the next section. Okay, so now in the next sentence, you need to preview your 2 reasons so you're super clear to your reader about what your paper is going to be about. And this is where you're telling your 2 reasons that support your claim, that prove that your claim is valid. So my example is, the right reality TV programming can be 1, educational, 2, inspiring. So pause the video, go ahead and write this example in your graphic organizer and press play when you are ready for the next section. All right, first reason paragraph. So now we've got paragraph 1 completed, your introduction. It's super clearly written, and now we're on paragraph 2, which is explaining that first reason, which is why reality TV can be educational. So the first thing we need is a topic sentence in your paragraph. So in your topic sentence, you need to establish your first reason that supports or proves your claim. So here it is. 1 reason reality TV is a positive thing is that people can learn a lot from reality TV. Okay, so pause the video, write this in your graphic organizer, and press play when you're ready for the next part. Okay, the next thing you need in your first reason paragraph is your data to support your thinking. Okay, and we're getting this data, this evidence from reality TV shows that we watched and the articles that we read. So anything from that packet that we've been collecting the past 2 weeks or so. So for your evidence, you have 2 options. You can have it paraphrased, which means it's in your own words. I would use this if you are describing a TV show example that we watched, because you're just going to explain like what you saw, and yeah, it'll be paraphrased in your own words. The next thing is you can also use direct evidence, which means that it's word for word exactly what the article or whatever said. So it's their words, and you have to use quotation marks to show that you got it from somebody else and it's somebody else's words. And this you'll probably use if you're citing an article, okay? So here's the example I have. I know that it's long, bear with me. It's okay if you go into a next box, okay? Not a big deal. For example, in the article, The Effects of Reality TV, The Good, it states, the National Campaign to Prevent Teen and Unplanned Pregnancy released a survey in 2010 in which 87% of teens who had watched MTV's 16 and Pregnant felt the show educated them about becoming a parent at such a young age. Okay, so pause the video, write this down in your graphic organizer, and then press play when you're ready for the next section. Okay, before we move on to the next section, I want to highlight a few things to bring your attention to. Okay, so I want you, and I will really be looking for this, for you all to use transitions like for example. It really makes it clear for your reader that you're going to give an example about something to support what you're saying, okay? The next thing is that I noted that in the article, Effects of Reality TV, The Good. So I explained that, yes, I got this information from an article. And I have the title of the article in quotation marks. And everything, all the important words are capitalized, okay? We learned about this before, but just as a reminder. Okay, in the article it states, comma, and then I have my quotes because it's a direct quote from the article. So remember, this is how it should be formatted because this is correct when you have a direct quote. Okay, let's go to the next section. After you have a direct quote or evidence of some kind, you have to explain why. Okay, this is the critical thinking piece, and this is super important because we can't get inside your brain, so we need to know what you're thinking and why you put that evidence in there. And you have to explain why it supports your claim. So you have to kind of like bridge the gap between the claim and the evidence, okay? So you're putting that connection in there. It's the connection that you make. So my example, in other words, teens learned valuable lessons about the reality of teenage parenthood from watching the show. This proves that reality TV can have a positive impact on society because increased knowledge about teen pregnancy is a positive thing. Okay, so pause the video, write this in your graphic organizer, and then press play when you are ready to go to the next section. Before we move on, one thing I want to highlight, two things I want to highlight about this is that in this first sentence here, I paraphrased what the quote or what the information from the quote was. And you know that because I said, in other words. So that tells you that I'm putting it in my own words, okay? So that's a good thing to do. The most important thing about this is me bridging the gap. This proves that reality TV can have a positive impact on society because increased knowledge about teen pregnancy is a positive thing. So that's me explaining why increased knowledge and why it connects to the claim, okay? Because increased knowledge is a positive thing, right? So that's what we're really going to be looking for in this section, is that explanation piece. Okay, let's move on to the next section. Okay, so when I was writing this and planning this out, I put this in, write a transition sentence to the next reason. However, when I actually started writing, I realized that we need to take this out because I don't write like that and it just is awkward. So instead of this, go ahead and cross it out. Instead of that, we are going to use a transition word at the beginning of the next paragraph. Okay, that'll be a little bit more smooth of a transition and it won't be quite as awkward and repetitive maybe. Okay, so then let's go on to the next paragraph. So what you're going to do is you are now going to write your own second reason paragraph. So to do that, I already established that reality TV can be inspiring. And so that's what this paragraph is going to be about. So you are actually going to write the paragraph. I've already given you the topic. Make sure you begin your claim or topic sentence with a transition word or phrase, such as another reason why reality TV is blah, blah, blah. Additionally, reality TV is positive because blah, 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 blah. Furthermore, reality TV is positive because blah, blah, blah. Then you'll finish writing your claim topic sentence about reality TV being inspiring. So kind of phrase it however feels natural to you. Then fill in the rest of the graphic organizer for that paragraph. You'll find evidence that proves that reality TV is inspiring. Could be from the TV shows we watched or from the articles we read. So here, I'm going to have you stop and write your second reason paragraph. Go back and rewatch that first reason paragraph if you need to. And then press play when you are ready again to write the conclusion, and I'll walk you guys through that. Conclusion paragraph. So just to check in, you wrote paragraph 3 on your own, right? If you didn't, stop and go back and write paragraph 3 on your own about that second reason. If you did, here we go. For your conclusion paragraph, your first sentence is that you have to restate the claim and why it's important. Okay, this reminds the reader, like, okay, I'm wrapping up my ideas. Here's a reminder of what my claim was. Make sure you use different words and make sure you have the same ideas. Okay, it sounds dumb if you say exactly the same thing that you said in your claim. So you want to make sure you rephrase it. Okay. So pause the video and write your claim, restatement / topic sentence. Press play when you are ready for the next section. All right, for your conclusion paragraph, you have two options for how you want to end or conclude your paper. First option is you can explain a call to action, which means you can explain what you want your reader to do now that they have all this information. You can also recommend future research. So if people want to learn more info, they can find it at blah, 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 wherever. You can choose one or the other depending on what your topic is. Some topics are better for a call to action and some topics are better for recommending future research. Again, you get to choose depending on what you think is best. Here's an example of explaining a call to action. This is, again, you want your reader to do something. So here's my example. If you are impressed with what you know about reality TV, then recommend possible shows to inspire your family and friends. You're literally telling your reader that, hey, go out, find some TV shows that you could recommend. Okay. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video, write this in your example, and then press play when you are ready for the next section. Your next option is that you could, like I said, you could also finish with a recommendation for future research. So what this could look like is to find out more information about this topic, blah, blah, blah. This is where you would insert websites, books, other sources of information where they could get more info about your topic. Okay, so now we've gone through, you have written a solid example of a argumentative research paper. Save this as an example as you write your own, because we're going to be starting that here coming up. Okay, that is all. Thanks for watching.